The story of Pan starts with Peter being kidnapped and traveling to the distant world of Neverland. This is probably one of the best parts of the movie as it embraces its childlike nature with bright, imaginative CGI visuals. There's things like flying fish and orbs of floating water. It's a sight to behold. But that's one of the few positive notes I have about this movie. When they reach Neverland, it goes into this bizarre musical number featuring Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit. Hugh Jackman is dressed up in his worst cosplay version of a pirate while he prances around, belting the song at the top of his lungs. All the serious actors in this movie are hamming it up so much it feels like a B-movie sometimes. Speaking of the acting, the kid actors in this movie are terrible, especially Peter. Everything he says is so wooden, it feels like right before each take, the director was just like, hey, act happy. Now, act sad. That's why most of the movie felt so shallow with no real character depth. Any progression in the characters are contrived, random, and inconsequential. One of the characters has a romantic arc that is established literally in 1 minute. Then he's in love. The main protagonist's struggle is also extremely generic. It's basically a kid's B-movie, which is why it feels so weird whenever it switches to real drama. It tries to be super emotional sometimes, but the switch is so jarring because it goes from hee hee, we're stealing cupcakes and make fun of fat ladies to it's World War II and jet fighters are dropping bombs on orphanages. It doesn't flow or feel cohesive at all. The only real joy I got from the movie was seeing all these big time actors hamming it up and acting stupid. Hugh Jackman looks like he's having the time of his life, and Garrett Hedlund puts on the strongest, most generic southern drawl possible. Some of the effects in the end were enjoyable also, but most of the CG that had to do with people were really, really bad. The movie is bland, forgettable, and uninspired, and feels like a bunch of old corporate guys were like, hey, Peter Pan can fly, so that makes him a superhero, right? Let's do an origin story. Turns out, the origin story is literally nothing and explains almost nothing from the original of Pan and his relationship with Captain Hook. I'm pretty sure they're planning like a trilogy of origin stories like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, except infinitely worse. I'm giving Pan a 3 out of 10.